Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Man, I could have Wayne Madsen on for 5 hours. Anytime he wants to come to Austin, we can get him back down here. Maybe on his way back to Florida or D.C., he stays in both places. He'll come back in the studio. There's so much to get into. But that's something that the head cop over 4 counties, the liaison running the Bilderberg coverage, he was so fair and good to us compared to what I see here in the U.S. so many times. He privately said, "Why have you invited me to dinner at a big corporate chain? I listen to your show. If you want to beat these people, you got to only buy local." He goes, "That's all I do." And he was really mad at me, genuinely. And I felt rebuked. And I said, "Well, I try to only shop local, but I'm on a big trip. It's the only big hotel in the area for my guys." He said, "No, you could have gone to locals. We don't have a future under globalism if people like you don't stop being hypocrites." And I was just like, whoa. But I guess he was right. He's like, "Man, you claim you're fighting tyranny? You got a problem, Jones." And it felt good to have him explain that to me, because really, it's not that any of us are perfect, but we've got to reprove each other. And I think that's what you were getting at, Wayne Madsen. Right.
Stay away from these big box stores and the big chains. I think that's what's hurting. These people that meet in Davos and Bilderberg. They get together. They don't think about people like you and I. A billionaire is nothing to these people. You got to be have over $100 billion to play in their game now.
Very well said. I want to keep you about 10 minutes over into the next segment to take some of these calls. You game to do that, Wayne Madsen?
Sure, absolutely.
Let's jam in one now, folks. And I know you called him before he came on, but he can speak on any subject. Billy in California wants to talk about what I said I'd ask Wayne. We'll ask that now. Exiting the USA. Is there anywhere to run?
Well, we only have to look at Ed Snowden to figure that one out. Where can he go right now? And people have asked me what's safe for him. He could probably get asylum in Brazil, Bolivia, Ecuador, one of these countries in Latin America. But Latin America is in the U.S. sphere of influence. It's the playground for the CIA. And although we have very bad relations with Venezuela, Ecuador, Bolivia, and Brazil right now because of our involvement, interference in their affairs, we got all kinds of ne'er-do-wells that, wander around those countries. I don't think it'd be all that safe there. Europe, of course, that's all EU and NATO. They would just turn him over in a minute. From any country, from Finland all the way down to Portugal, would be more than happy to turn him in for a few extra, euros or dollars from old Uncle Sam. So China, even China, I would not. China will not do anything that will adversely affect their ability to make money. And if they feel Snowden's doing that, they may in fact be more than willing.
That's right. I mean, you got to say it. As bad as the Russians have been at many levels, everybody says it. Putin looks so much more honorable with his pro-family stance, his anti-radical Islam stance that's real, not fake. Everything he's done, saying he's a Christian, everything flies in the face. And, it would have been better for them to just turn Snowden over. What do you think's going on in Russia?
Well, Putin's standing his ground. I mean, he did not want to see Ukraine join the EU and hence they go into NATO. Whatever happened to Madeleine Albright, who said NATO would never extend into Eastern Europe? This is what she said early on. This is what Warren Christopher said. This is what Bill Clinton said. And no sooner had they said it, they were already bringing in Poland. And now it's the Baltics. And now they want to bring in Ukraine and Georgia.
And the Russians watched them bomb Serbia and hand a third of that over to al-Qaeda. I mean, the Russians see what's happening.
Absolutely. So Putin is standing his ground on this Femen group, and then there's a group called Boina, and then there's another, there's all these other Soros-backed groups. They're always staging these protests, topless protests in the whole.
Absolutely. Stay there. I want to come back to you. But I mean, George Soros wants to overthrow America and all these other countries. He is a globalist. operative, one of the most famous living Nazi collaborators, and he runs the left. Alex Jones here with a message to fellow freedom lovers. The prognosis for the entire planetary economic system runs from bad to worse. The globalist model is to shut down societies and starve patriots out until they acquiesce to the global takeover. That's why we've assembled the most vital and important preparedness items at InfoWarsShop.com. These are items that I did research on, that I personally use. You've got the Life Straw, so you can turn fetid water into safe water anywhere you go. The K-Tor hand crank generator to charge up key equipment during power outages or out in the field. Strategic Relocation, 3rd edition by Joel Skousen. When Disaster Strikes by Matthew Stein. ThyroSafe, used by Homeland Security to protect yourself during any radiological event. Hand crank shortwave AM/FM radios. Everything that we've researched and found to be the best is available at InfoWarsShop.com, and your purchase makes our InfoWar possible. We're getting prepared. Are you? InfoWarsShop.com. Alex Jones here to tell you about how you can help spread liberty worldwide while also enjoying what I have found to be the best tasting 100% organic coffee on the planet. For more than a decade, my favorite coffee has come from the high mountains of southern Mexico, where the Chiapas farmers grow their unique shade-grown Arabica beans. We have now managed to secure these sought-after beans in a highly customized blend. Discover and try a bag of the Patriot Blend 100% organic coffee at InfoWarsLife.com. This coffee gives you a long, smooth pick-me-up for hours without the headaches and heartburn that so many other coffees give me personally. Hands down, this is my favorite coffee, and it's taken us years to secure connections directly to the Chiapas Mexican farmers. Drop by the site today, order a bag or two, and I don't think you're going to be disappointed. Available in original or with our Immune Support Infusion Blend. You will be supporting a free press, all the while enjoying a truly great-tasting cup of my favorite coffee. Available at InfoWarsLife.com. The facts are in. The studies are legion. Sodium fluoride and other toxic members of the fluoride family are devastating the health and cognitive ability of the American people. So why are the social engineers adding it to the water? Simple. Dumb down the host population that the parasitic technocracy is feeding on. We may not have been able to get fluoride out of the water supply yet, but we can help to get it out of our bodies. I am extremely excited to announce the exclusive InfoWars Life Fluoride Shield formulation, fusing 6 of the best documented ingredients from around the world to help the body remove not just toxic fluoride residues from the body, but a whole host of toxic substances. Let's take a stand against the globalists by blocking their poisons with Fluoride Shield. I use Fluoride Shield every day. Secure your Fluoride Shield and other pioneering formulations at InfoWarsLife.com today. Let's start cleansing our bodies now and support the InfoWar at the same time. That's InfoWarsLife.com.
You are listening to an InfoWars.com frontline report. If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
Oh, we're riders on the storm.
Riders on the storm.
Make no mistake. All right, Wayne, I said we go to calls. Let's go to them. You gave us your answer. There's nowhere to run in the world except maybe Russia from the globalists. They basically run the whole world right now, or are trying to. And they're gearing up for economic collapse through which they'll bring in their new global cashless society. They're trying to phase out cash everywhere to kill the barter economy. They're trying to create federal squads, $15 million fines for garage sales. I'm not joking. That's Fox News reporting that. You know, if they find any recalled item going back 20 years, well, I mean, there's tens of thousands of things that have been recalled. Just all sorts of ways to scare everyone because they're predatory. So the answer to their Agenda 21 is to only buy local when you can, and to support local businesses, and to buy organic, and to support alternative media. It's real simple. We have to absolutely put the establishment under siege because they're trying to put us under siege. Doesn't it come down to that, Wayne?
Oh, absolutely it does. And I think, like I say, I'm encouraged at what I see in here in the Pacific Northwest. I just hope that this is going on all over the country, that people are supporting local businesses, local organic farmers, You know, and I can't agree more. Buy local, stay away, and even state banks and local banks. You know, leave the Bank of America's.
The local banks are under attack. The Banking Reform Act was written to shut them down. We've got to go be with local banks.
Absolutely.
Well said. I mean, this is a takeover, folks. These people don't want commerce. They want controlled commerce. Billy, your point on exiting the USA. Go ahead.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. I'll be quick. My class just started. I got a point and a question. So Matt putting that out on the exit strategy, it kind of, to me, it shows that he knows the trajectory of the civilization. And he already has his own exit strategy, but it's kind of a warning for the rest of us. But to me, there's almost nowhere you can run. I mean, if you completely exodus, leave America, get out of here, go to Chile, go to Switzerland, wherever, that means that you've kind of given up and they're just going to take full control of America and the rest of the globalist countries that they control. So that's just a point real quick. But a question for you and Wayne, do you think that we have enough patriots to basically align everybody and take it back over? Because I think we do. But I think the globalists are just really good at consolidating their power, aligning themselves, and actually turning that into a weapon. Do we have that? I think we do. But what does it look like? Question for you and Wayne real quick.
I mean, I think so often you have to just double down, even if it looks like things are pretty dark, and then it's that standing and resisting that ends up giving you the moral high ground. I mean, as bad as Russia is on so many fronts, our elite are so evil. Russia worldwide looks like the good guys, even in the words of people like Pat Buchanan. And it's not that Putin's even that great. It's that compared to these people, he's a saint. And so we have to be that example. And I mean, sure, if they're trying to send a hit squad to kill you, and Wayne was warned by three different high-level people, he left for a year. And then when the threat was over, he came back. So you got to know when to hold him, know when to fold him, know when to walk away, know when to run. Wayne Madsen, your answer to that. I mean, what do we do? I mean, can we beat them?
Stay here and fight. Look, I'm encouraged by what I've seen. I can use maybe this opportunity to get in a shameless plug, but there's a director out here in the Northwest, Eric Stacy out of Portland, has just completed a film. We're coming up in a few days on the 1-year anniversary of the horrible death of Phil Marshall, who wrote about 9/11, the pilot. United Airlines 767, 757 pilot, wrote 2 books on 9/11, was working on yet another, was involved in Iran-Contra with Barry Seal. In just a few days, the 1-year anniversary of his horrible death with those of his 2 children in Murphy's, California. There's a docu-novel coming out called Unthinkable, done by Eric Stacy, who's got 8 films under his belt. And again, here's a guy who has a long history in Hollywood. His dad was the assistant director to David O. Selznick on some movies people may have heard of, Gone with the Wind and A Star is Born. He's completed this docu-novel, or docudrama, I should say. You and I are in it because they've got one of our interviews in the movie. It opens just a few blocks off Broadway on April the 11th at the Quad Cinema in Manhattan. So anyone in that area, I would really urge them to see this. This shows that in a docu-novel kind of way, docudrama kind of way, that Marshall was taken out by a hit team because of what he was working on.
Sure, and again, it doesn't mean this one film will save the world, or one book will save the world, but all of us that have the means, in one level of the media or not, to communicate, they want to shut our speech down because it's effective. So when they kill somebody or arrest Dinesh D'Souza, look, if a Republican had had somebody like Michael Moore arrested, even if it looked like he might have been guilty, but it was political, I would stand with Michael Moore, even though I detest him. Because, folks, if you don't stand for the free speech for everybody, everyone loses it. It's elementary. Thank you very much, caller. Great points. William in New York, you're on the air with Wayne Madsen. Go ahead.
Yes, how are you? Alex Jones, Mr. Madsen. How are you?
Good, good. Go ahead.
Jones, I just wanted to make a quick point, like a pointed question like Billy, if you don't mind. Alex, I'm a loyal supporter. I respect you, but I'm getting really irritated every time I hear of you speaking of leaving this country. I mean, talk of leaving this country